my channel. Today's video is going to be another installment of the debt video. So this is the second one that I've done, and the reason I'm doing this one today is because it's been about a month since I posted the previous one, and that was back in May, and now we are in June, so our bills are going to look different for June. I think the best way to upload for this series is probably monthly. Because everything pretty much stays the same throughout the month except when we get off our budget or off track. But other than that, our bills stay the same because we get paid at the beginning of the month, so we're not getting any extra income throughout the month except for the checks that my husband brings home, which I told you about in the introduction video. The only way that it changes is if we get off track and we spend out of a budget that we're not supposed to, or we overspend in one budget and we're not supposed to, something like that. So I think the best way to upload for this series will be monthly, since monthly everything sort of changes up for the month. I sat down with absolutely nothing to film this video. There's no desk in front of me, there's no paperwork, there's nothing, because I thought that I could recall all of this from memory, and I think that I can. I don't need to go through our specific bills or specific amounts of money that we're going to have left over or not have left over. I just kind of want to recap the month of May and then give you a projectile for the month of June. So in the month of May, if I can recall correctly, I told you guys last month that we were only going to be eating out once every weekend, which was going to be a total of 3 or 4 more times that month. I wanted to come back and tell you that we did not do that at all. We ate out a whole lot more than the 4 times. Luckily, financially that worked out for us. However, it was not a very good idea, simply because we could have used that money to pay off some of our debt, and that's one of the things that we struggle with the most, is holding on to that money to pay off debt or to put it in a savings account. We usually will end up eating out with it instead, and it ends up going to something that it doesn't need to go to. Or, you know, I like to shop, so I'll do a little bit of shopping with it, and we're not really supposed to be doing that either. We do have one victory for the month of May, and that is that I paid off a small health department bill, which was about $150, and that one has kind of been hanging over my head for a little while now, just because it's so little I haven't even want to think about it, because our other debts are larger, so I've been working towards other things. But I was like, you know what, it needs to get out from underneath us so we don't worry about it anymore. So I just went ahead, we had the money, so I just went ahead and paid that off. So that's paid off, so that's one thing that we did that was good. So we actually did pay something off. And of course, the other thing that goes along, the other loan that goes along with that one was not an air conditioning unit, an air conditioning, what is it called? Conductor. A heat conductor? Something to do with the heating and air. We borrowed the money for one, and my husband is having that come out of his check, so he's paying that back. So each paycheck, which is every 2 weeks, $50 of that, $50 comes out to go towards that, and it pays it directly down. There's no interest or anything like that on that little loan. And so every time he's gotten paid, a $50 payment is going towards it, so it is decreasing the loan, even though we're not directly paying anything more on it. So I combined those 2 loans together and created a debt thermometer just for those, which was a total of about $550, I think. And we paid down the $150 from the health department, and I think it was $100 for the month of May on the air conditioning piece, because he would have gotten paid twice that month, and each check would have taken out $50 to go towards that. So total debt payoff for the month of May was how much? $258 and some change. And that's pretty bad for us, because we probably could have pulled a little bit more money together had we not eaten out so much, and had we not done as much shopping. We kind of like to shop a little bit. We shop at dollar stores and Walmart, but all of it adds up, and we shop, you know, a few times a week, so we just pick up things here and there, and before you know it, we've spent $30, $40 here, there, and it adds up, and it's a little ridiculous, but it's just something that we do for fun, and it's just our entertainment. So that in combination with eating out, we could have pulled more money together to pay off debt. So just the little $250 really wasn't as much as we could do. We weren't really challenging ourselves by only putting $250 on our debt for the month of May. So we were successful in the fact that we paid anything off, which is different from what we've been doing in the last few months previous. We haven't really been paying anything off at all, just paying minimum payments. So what we actually paid off was the $150 for the health department, because the air conditioning unit was only a minimum payment anyway. But since it goes directly towards the loan and doesn't accrue interest, it's helpful to even have just that little $50 minimum payment going on there twice a month. So in that way, it sort of counts as paying it off. I feel like I'm probably confusing you now. So we could have challenged ourselves further and paid a lot more off that month, but we didn't, and that's where we failed. However, we were successful because we did pay off a little bit, and that's better than nothing, which is what we have been doing. For the month of June, we are going to be a little bit ahead, for right now. I sat down and figured up all of our bills yesterday, and the way that I do that is very similar to the way that I showed you my budgeting, I forgot what the video was called, budgeting based on a monthly income or something like that. I'll probably link that below. But I sat down and did a video on sort of how I budget everything. I didn't go into detail as far as numbers go and what bills we pay, but I gave you an idea of how I figure up our bills. So that is what I did the other day. I calculated I had the money in the account of what we actually had as income for the month, because all of our paychecks hit on the 1st. And so anything that Anthony makes from his paychecks throughout this month will be, ideally it would be considered extra income, but lately we've been actually needing that and waiting for him to get paid so that we can have gas money and stuff. This month I don't think we're going to have to do that, and that is really good, because the last 2 to 3 months we have been having to do that. So that automatically puts us ahead. I sat down and figured up our bills yesterday, and took our total that we had in our account, which was our income, and subtracted every single bill that we have, and subtracted our gas fund for the month, and a couple of other small funds for the month, which would be a bag of dog food for the dogs, and toiletry. Like, I have a toiletry budget, and that consists of house cleaning products and toilet paper and shampoos and all that stuff. So I set aside those 2 budgets and the gas budget, and that was it, which is a very dangerous thing to do, because if you consider your spending habits and you know that you're going to spend money in a certain area that month, it's not wise to give yourself $0 for that budget, because if you know that you're going to spend in that area regardless, it's better to put a little bit of money in that budget and spend less money that way than it is to say, well, I'm not going to spend anything, and then you're going to drive yourself crazy trying not to spend any money, and you're going to end up spending it anyway and probably spend way more than you would have if you had just created yourself a small budget. I hope that makes sense. So that's sort of what we did eating out last month. We said we were going to eat out a small amount, but we never stick to what we say when we eat out, so that didn't work out. We have stuck to it before, but we really don't. We really would like to have a large eating out budget so that we can pretty much never cook and just eat out all the time, but that's not working out so far because we don't make that much money. So for this month, that's the only budgets that I've set aside, and I have not included an eating out budget or recreational budget as far as like just going out and having fun, going to a movie, going bowling. We don't really go bowling, but I mean not on a regular basis, but we do enjoy going to movies, and I really would like to see more movies, but I don't budget for them and we just don't go. But we'll eat out. We can eat out because we have to eat. We don't have to go to a movie. Anyways, that's irrelevant. So I did not create a budget for the eating out this month. That is really ideal. It's just theory, because I know good and well that we're not going to just spend no money eating out. We're not just going to not eat out for the entire month. But I did go to the grocery store the other day, and I did my grocery shopping, and I bought a ton of groceries, and we should literally have enough food for the entire month. It's going to be stretched because I don't ever overspend at the grocery store. I don't ever buy so much food that it's going to take us 6 months to eat it, but it will be a stretch for the month. So we're gonna eat for 2-3 weeks at least, and then maybe have to stretch out that last week. And what I mean by stretch out the last week is, I don't mean eat beans and cornbread because we're poor and we don't want to go to the grocery store. I mean, like, get creative. We have food in there to eat. We just don't always get creative, or we're lazy and we won't cook it, or things like that. So I do believe we have enough groceries to take us through the entire month, and I do like to shop for my groceries on a monthly basis, not any less than that. And so I'm excited, and I bought a lot of easy meals for us. I hate buying easy meals because they're so much more expensive. Like, I hate buying lasagna, frozen casseroles, TV dinners. I hate buying frozen food because it's always so much more expensive than if you just bought food from the meat department and cooked, or if you made things from scratch. But we're not cooking like that. We're too lazy. Like, it's too easy for us to go out to eat instead. So I bought plenty of easy meals, which is why I spent more at the grocery store this month than I normally do. But I think that that's going to really help us in staying home. So I think that our rule of thumb should be, let's not go out to eat until all the groceries are gone. And if all the groceries last for the entire month, then we're not going to eat out for the entire month. But that's probably not going to happen. I already went out and ate yesterday. After I thought of all of this in my head, I still went out and had lunch. Anyways, now my battery's fixing to die. I knew that was going to happen. So that is our projection for the month of June and our sum up for the month of May. For the month of June, I don't know exactly what we're going to pay off yet. I won't really know that till the end of the month, because I'm stubborn with my money and I want to hold on to it until I know for sure that I can let go of it. And I normally haven't been like that in the past when I've paid off debt. I just am doing that right now because we're new to it again, and it's hard for me to let go of money. But we do have a little bit of money in our account right now that we can put on something, and then all of my husband's paychecks for this month will be extra income. So that is going to be our extra income for this month, and I will let you know in the month of July. I will post another video and let you know how that went, if we didn't eat out as much, or if we actually put all of that extra income on debt, or how much we've paid off, and all of that stuff. And I think that's everything. I think that covers everything for this month. Oh, and something else. I didn't even mention this. My husband has a credit card for Home Depot that he loves, and he has bought a few things on it. So I did want to mention that ideally with the baby steps and with Dave Ramsey, you're supposed to stop using your credit cards altogether. I think we have 100% stopped using them, except for that Home Depot card, because he constantly is needing things for work. And he says he needs them, so whatever. But he has purchased a few things, and so we've accumulated a little bit more debt. I think that's only been about a couple $100, maybe not even that much. I didn't really count it up. I'm just, for my own conscience, ignoring that card completely and pretending that it doesn't exist. And if he maxes it out, then that's all he gets. He doesn't get any more. So sometimes it's better to have a card that's maxed out than it is to have a card that's not maxed out, because then you know you're not going to keep spending on it. But anyways, I did want to let you know that there was a little bit more of card spending and debt accumulation, unfortunately, in conjunction with paying off something else. And that's something that I wanted to address in this video as well, is if we do get into debt at another time or throughout this series, I want to address that as well and make that known so that you can kind of keep up with everything, so that we can all be honest. But that is going to conclude this video, and that was our entire month of May. That is what I project for the month of June. And I will see you guys back here in July for another update. And I will see you guys back here on Monday for another beauty video. Hopefully it will be the review of the new Jaclyn Hill Face Champagne Glow palette. I just ordered it, and I think it should be here on the 2nd, which is tomorrow. So I'm hoping to play around with that this weekend and give a good review for you on Monday. So look forward to that video, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye!